Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday to the team, and hope you guys had a nice weekend. We are back live at 8 a.m. today. And before I introduce you to the guys, just want to let you know that this week we're going to have very busy schedule. You can see it here on our YouTube live. We're going to be live every day at 8 a.m. And then on Friday, we're going to have a special event where we'll be trading live at 9:15 with the team during OPEX. So excited about that. But for now, welcome, Patrick, Maciej. Welcome, guys.
Hello, buongiorno everyone.
Ciao, Patrick. All right, so before we go into kind of like the roadmap for the day, what we want to go over is let's look at what's going to happen this week. So first of all, we have OPEX on Friday. Very, very important. OPEX is, as you can see, the expiration of the monthly options. And on Friday, if we look at the matrix, we're going to have about 32% of total gamma expiring on the 16th. So it's a lot of gamma exposure that is going to be expiring at the end of the week. We also have our, it's a big day today as well. So we'll be looking at that closely later. So very, very important OPEX. Then, of course, we have a few catalyst events for the week. We have economic data. We also have the things that are happening in the world with the Fed from Friday, the big news, macro events, what's happening in the world in Iran and all of that. So it's going to be a very, very interesting week. We're going to go over the VIX very soon. But basically, the first thing we want to see is let's look at the SPX net gamma exposure chart, and let's try and see what can be the key magnet. And then we're going to build our roadmap together with Patrick in a second. But very, very important is we're going to have banks earnings this week starting tomorrow. So if you come to the dashboard, you can open up any of the tickers. We're looking at JP Morgan. We can look at Goldman Sachs, etc. What's really interesting here is that you can use the Q score to understand how the sentiment on the asset is going. So when we look at JPM, we are neutral on the option side. We are seeing a very high volatility. We're slightly negative on seasonality, but overall the momentum has been pretty bullish. When you look at the matrix as well, we're going to see a lot of option expiring, weekly option for the ticker. And then most importantly, we can look at our swing trading model. So the swing trading model is telling us that the levels we should be paying attention to the lower side is our 317.79 and to the higher side 340.59. So here you can also see the back testing of the swing model. We're standing in a bullish bias coming from the model, and the success rate of the model has been 94% over the past 21 days, right? So those are interesting levels that you can use for earnings play. We can also look at VRP. So we are standing in a very, very high volatility risk premium. So if you are thinking on buying option, just consider that you are paying a higher premium than you would have a few weeks ago, etc. Let me know, Patrick, if you have anything to add or you want me to go over anything in particular.
Yeah, maybe explain what is this meaning, the success rate, for example, for the lower band. So should we stay in the range between risk trigger and lower band? What is this meaning? I think people who are new, they're thinking about what do you mean with this, with the success rate? How is this building?
Sure. So basically what this model does is trying to forecast the price in 5 days from now. So if we look at the models from today, this would be the levels for Friday. So when we look at success rate, means that if on Friday the price closes above 317.79, then that means that the model was able to predict the range or predict that the price would be above the lower band. And then we also have the success rate of the risk trigger. So by Friday, if the price closes below 340.59 on the ticker, that means that the risk trigger was successful, and you can see it right here. So how can you kind of play these levels? So let's say that you wanted to trade directionally. You could use this level as your support and resistance. If you're trading using options, then you could use this level for spreads, so credit spreads. And then basically they could also become your take profit targets. So let's imagine that you are in a trade and the price approaches this 340.59. You know that there's 87% chance that the price could close below that. So that could become your kind of like target price for that area.
Great. Let us know, guys, if you understand this. Give us a yes or no in the chat so that we make sure that everyone is on the same page.
And when we look instead at volatility, this is more like for option traders, but it can also be interesting for people that just start looking at the asset and want to understand what's going on. So right now we are very overvalued in terms of IV, meaning that the volatility risk premium is very high. So like obviously earnings are coming up, so we are expecting, the market is expecting a lot of volatility around the event. So that's why we are pricing a higher volatility. So for option traders, that means that if you are buying calls or puts, then you're paying more than you would maybe a week or 2 weeks ago. If you're selling calls or puts, then it means that you are getting more premium, right? But of course, there's always the risk. So obviously pay attention to that as well.
All right. And then, Fabio, I think there's a really good question what we received from Joe L17 about the dashboard. When the dashboard says we are in positive gamma, but the market is dropping and it looks negative. So how people can connect the dots easy?
So basically, if we look at, so what you see here in the dashboard is the end of day value, right? So at the end of the day, we calculate the gamma condition for the asset, whether it's stocks, ETFs, or futures. But then when you come to the intraday, you can actually monitor the intraday change of the data by going into our liquidity summary. So if we go back to last week, for example, right now the market is closed still, so we don't have any new snapshot. But if we go back to last week, we can see basically here, like always monitor this, because basically the liquidity summary will give you an idea of whether we are changing throughout the day. So it could be that we were in a positive gamma environment at the end of the day, but we are shifting. So the gamma condition changes throughout the day. So this one can really help you understand, okay, like we are now moving from positive to negative gamma and so on.
Exactly. And for NQ traders, Fabio, we have, of course, for our futures levels and futures data at the moment, end of today, but really soon we have also intraday levels there. What should be they looking for? Should they be looking more for NDX or for QQQ?
So I would say QQQ. So I like QQQ, but then it doesn't mean NDX is not as valuable, just because there is much more option activity. So I think QQQ can give you really a great insights for NQ traders because of the amount of gamma that we have on the asset. So always like look at the value here. QQQ has way more gamma than NDX, so that can provide you like more interesting insights and more actionable magnet areas.
And also, if we're going into the intraday, what you were showing for SPX, we have the same there, where you can looking into the summary and have an idea about what's going on in the intraday liquidity summary from QQQ.
Yeah.
So there you can get a feeling about your NQ.
Yeah, and that, this one gets populated 14 times per day, but very, very soon in Q1 or beginning of Q2, we're going to have more like intraday real-time snapshots.
That's amazing. Guys, any questions about the dashboard before we going into the charts? where we'll be talking about NQ, a little bit about ES and the VIX, of course, and Maciej will be talking about gold. If you have any questions about the dashboards, let us know. Can you show the gamma exposure for SPX also? Of course, we can do it.
Yeah, so this will show you the all expirations, so the total gamma exposure. You can also see it in the dashboard here. So here we break it down by expiry. So here you can see the 0 DTs, 1 DTs, and so on. And of course, very, very important, like we were saying before, OPEX Friday will be trading live this event, but there's about 33% gamma expiring on Friday, right? And then, of course, you can see.
But let's stay in the options matrix, because there's something what I personally believe is, especially if you be a futures trader and not an options trader, is really important for you, that you can really look into this, the core resistance change, put support change, high vol level change, and the expiry expected move. So this is really, really a good information. Like we have for OPEX on the 16, how many points we can move until Friday, expected points. And this is really interesting. And also what I be looking for every single day is the core resistance changed over the days, if I'm looking into the options matrix. Same for put support, and also the same for the high vol level. Because if I'm seeing a change, then I can have a little bit more better a trade idea where I can developing plan A, B, C based on long, short, or neutral. Because think about, we don't want to have NBRs, we want to have only a plan for every conditions, and it helps me also to having better ideas.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you can also go over the NetJax multi-expiration. This is only looking at today's expiration. So of course you can see like this big core resistance area at 7,000 and our put support 6,900. So that can become really interesting level. And of course we have 6,925, which is our high vol level 0 DTs, which is the gamma flip point for just 0 DTs options, which is this area here.
Exactly.
Maybe a naive questions. There's no naive questions, so that's a good one. Jax normalized. So essentially, what this means, if we go back to the matrix, if you look at the full option chain, we calculate the total gamma, and Jax normalized means that out of the 100% of all the gamma expiring, 32% is expiring on this expiration. So you're taking the total exposure and you're basically calculating the percentage of gamma expiring for that specific exposure. So it's really simple percentage based on total exposure, basically. I'll pass it to you, Patrick. And
all right. So again, happy Money Monday, everyone. Hope you was refreshing your mind. Think about how important this is for traders to not thinking over the weekend about trading, to become in the market fresh, clear mind. Because if we're looking into the week, Fabio, you were saying this already. We have a busy week, we have CPI week, we have headline risk, and of course we have the earnings kickoff with the banks. So if we have all this in our mind, we should also thinking about timing, setup, and location, where we are at the moment in the market. Is this now the right time to going into the market when we're looking into the next few days? So for this reason, I was thinking about to stay out of the market for now, just wait a little bit more for the open when it comes from the NQ. But I was making some notes on my chart for you guys, because I think it is really important for us to think about what we see today in connection with what we was having also last week. And just as information, guys, We was opening today at 18 Sunday, so the Globex open. And again, we was talking about all the week, Fabio. You was sent out also a newsletter to all people. I think it was yesterday, where we talking about the high vol ZUDTE, and the one-day min and the one-day max. One of my A+ setups. And it was showing up today again. Look at this, guys. We was open, and then we going through high vol ZUDTE, and we come back to one-day min where we was reacting. But I think, as reminder, I notice here also for you guys, it's really important to understand when we come to high vol and high vol ZUDTE, and this is something what I'm doing all the single day is I will be hiding now the drawings quick, going into the 4-hour time frame, because the high vol and the high vol ZUDTE is what, Fabio? It is not only a money printing level, it's not only the flipping point where we're flipping from positive gamma to negative gamma, it's also a story. It's a decision area where we are at the moment. And take a closer look here. So if we're mapping out now the high vol, this is really where we are at the moment. This is this area here. So here is the breakout area where we break or fail. Take out the drawings again. Here we go, hide the drawings. This is really the make it or fake it area. As you can see, we're stopping, stop. We was talking about this last week also. And again, we are again on this. And Fabio, I think I see so many new names here in our chart. And for this reason, I think we can talk about this again, only for 1 minute. Why is the one-day min and the one-day max so powerful, and why we can use this as a target?
Yeah, I think is very powerful because it's kind of like a volatility indicator. So it would basically give you an idea of the range for the day. So with that, we developed the model with the high accuracy. So there's like very good statistics on the website. And basically the way you can use that is for reversal trades. Like in this case, for example, we're seeing NQ. In this case, we are basically touching the one-day min and we're bouncing back. So that can tell you when the market is overextended and when we could potentially see a pullback. So the way you can use that, it's either if you were in a short trade, then maybe you could use that as your target, or if you are thinking of a reversal trade, then that could become a very, very nice entry point.
Yeah, exactly. So really like this, guys. At the moment, people asking, what are now the important gamma levels, Fabio? And I think we receive every single day the questions, what are the most important gamma levels? I think you will receive many emails about this. I receive many emails about this. What is really the important gamma levels? And if we're talking only now, I would also say, guys, take a closer look into the chart. What is in the play at the moment? And at the moment, when we're talking about important gamma levels, of course, we have our one-day min. It's important. Check. What we have also, put support ZUDTE and high vol ZUDTE. This is at the moment, for me, the range where it's important. Can we stay in the range, or did we break out and come to call resistance and call vol ZUDTE, or did we break this and then we have again some open space into the lower band or into the blind spots? And this is really one concept what helps me to not overthink about gamma levels, and what is important is put support more important than call resistance or whatever. Important is only what is in the play, Fabi. What do you think about this?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, for like here in this case, so it's also important that you not only look just at the name, but you also look at the chart that we showed you earlier to understand the size of those bars, because that could become also very, very, very key. So, if you have a Jax 4 there or a Jax 3, are those less important? You should still look at them as potential magnets or reaction area. So, yeah.
So and this is the only story. And between this, guys, you know that me and Maciej, we love something, and this is really having a plan A when we won't go long in the market, and we like to have a plan B when we won't go short, and we have a plan C when we say, okay, I don't like how everything is looking like, how everything is shining out, and I'm stay out of the market. For me, at the moment, I don't like it. I'm staying out of the market. Why? Because we are now in the middle from everything. Look at this. GEX 3 and GEX 4. This is for me the 50% area between put support and put support 0 DTE and 1 day min. This is for me plan C. I don't want B. I want C more. If we coming back to put support and put support 0 DT and high vol 0 DT, what would be the reaction here? And also, I want more to see if we fall down to the 1 day min, what would be the reaction here? Can I take the open space to the lower band or to the blind spot 2? At the moment, I won't be stay out of the market. I won't see more the reaction here at the top. And when we come back to 1 day min, can we break this and coming back to the lower band? Again, the market will be open. There was also some Trump Fed stuff going on. I think we will see some reaction at the market open. Could be really possible. And this is why at the moment plan C is in the play for me. I'm staying out of the market. If we're looking into ES, I have not so many notes here because I won't make the roadmap with you today here on the charts with you. But first things first, as you know, Fabio, and you was talking about this, you have also the indicator where you can create roadmaps. So you can click on this and then you can create your roadmap. You have this for the blind spots where you can create the roadmap as indicator, or on the swing trading levels, you can also create the roadmap. The only thing where you not can create the roadmap is the customer indicator. At the moment, I think, Fabio, correct?
You cannot do it on the custom level for now.
Okay, so when I'm looking into the ES, for me, I like to have first the story. What is really the story? We can looking, of course, into the net checks. We can looking into the options matrix and all this stuff. I get the point. I love this. I'm doing this also. I'm looking into real-time data when the options market is open, for sure. But for me, my most important thing is what the data telling me on the chart. And only this, Fabio, when I'm seeing something like this is for me a huge wall. And I know something is cooking. This is a huge wall between 7,000 and 7,057. For me, this would be my no-go area at the moment. Here, I would be stopping at core resistance. I would be not going through this. Take a closer look. We have a huge wall. And if we going in now into the 4-hour time frame, we will confirm the huge wall. Take a closer look. We are now at the top of the top. Here we go. So I would be really careful with this because for me, only based on the data, what I having here on my chart, Fabio, it's looking for me like a huge wall where we have to go in truth, and it can take a lot of volume, a lot of momentum that we're breaking this. But we can either pull away or we can also using this as magnet. So it can move. And that's the cool thing, what we can have with our plan A, plan B, plan C. Once we now coming to our magnet area, the big magnet area, and can using then really the major gamma levels as box-to-box trading, like what we have here. So we have clear box-to-box. If we come back after we touching high wall, that we can fill the space until put support UDT and high wall UDT. If the momentum is strong enough, box to box until call resistance, but very careful here because here we have a lot of magnets, and then can be taken out to the next box to 1 day max. This is a clear and really nice box-to-box trade. Put support, high vol, call resistance, gamma vol, call resistance, and one-day max. Between this, the only space what I personally really like is at the moment between high vol and put support and high vol 0 DTE. And if we're touching high vol 0 DTE, between high vol and one-day min. And of course, if you're breaking a one-day min to the lower band, perfect. I like it. But after put support 0 DTE and high vol 0 DTE, I don't like it so much anymore, because there we have all our GAX levels from ES sitting. And here between high vol, put support, high vol, and one-day min between a lower band from SPX, what I converted to ES, we have free space. This is for me cool, but with patience, not taking the trade in the middle, waiting until we're hitting some major gamma level and then taking price action. But for timing, I'm using very often the VIX. And this is really interesting. I don't know, guys, if you were seeing this. And this is something what I was talking last week also with our pro members. Guys, take a closer look what was happened. After a gap on VIX, we take it out. We gap up, we take it out. Gap up, take it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we are here on the 8th time. Did we can fill the gap here again? This is a huge gap. This is the biggest gap between the last 7. This is huge. So this is something where I'm looking for. And if I'm now adding also again our levels, then guys, I like to trade put support 0 DTE, put support call resistance, and call resistance 0 DTE, what are already my A+ setup, where I'm seeing most of the time good reactions, and this is where I'm timing my trades also in the market. I'm talking about ES and NQ. And also one insider, the pro room, I'm teaching the pro room about the blind spot levels from the VIX. There are not officially blind spot levels like what you have on NQ and ES, but the pro traders knowing if I'm talking about the blind spots on VIX, this is a really huge one. We're using VIXy and converting this to VIX. And we're looking also if there's put support 0 DTE, put support, call resistance, or call resistance is showing up. And here we go. We have now our A+ setup. It was already here. And I think our pro members from the pro room, they was catching this. There was your A+ setup. And this is exactly where we're starting to fill possible the gap. This doesn't mean we have to fill the gap, but with this in mind, that we have also here the put support 0 DTE from VIXy, and it's the start to begin the gap fill perfectly. If you were seeing this, guys, especially our pro traders, amazing, congratulations, because then you was already ready. Because as you know, we're looking into the VIX for our timing, and we don't fight the VIX. If we see that the VIX is dropping, we're not taking short position on NQ or ES, because take a closer look what was happened with the VIX. The VIX was, I will now remove the drawings. The VIX was dropping and the market is coming back. Really simple approach. Use the VIX as second confirmation for your timing. This is now the right time to going, for example, short when the VIX is dropping. Of course not. Stay more, be patient. Stay more, be disciplined. And using also, I call it the VIX blind spots. Use the VIXy. We on MenthorQ, we give you the full flexibility. You can go to Quinn, ask for levels. You can go to Discord, ask for the levels, and then use really the MenthorQ custom levels. Put in here the VIXy and convert this to the VIX. I'm using only end of the day to really define where some of my A+ setups showing up. This is from my side. Again, what we can take out today. First, I really want use the VIX as second confirmation for your timing. If the VIX is dropping, guys, please make sure that you're on the right side on the market. Having a plan A, having a plan B, have a plan C when you want to going short, long, or staying out of the market, what you want to see. And also, again, we have a really good box-to-box setup today on ES. We have open space between high vol, put support 0 DTE, high vol, 1-day min. But the perfect trade would be if we breaking 1-day min and came into the lower band. And also on the NQ, we have a lot of things going on here where we have going truth. The best case would be having also here the open space. I don't know if this would be showing up, but this would be where I would be love to take action because we have an open space. There's nothing what hold us back. But this saying, I will pass this now to you, Maciej, for the gold playbook. And then later we can have a Q&A again.
So, gold morning, ladies and gents. Let's dive together to gold analysis. So, first thing first, as usually, what we are doing, checking what the bigger money do on gold and on dollar. On dollar, plus minus, they are sitting on the same label. On gold, if you remember, we last time was near 3.8, near 4%. Right now we have a little drop on the window, and 3.5 is sitting for today. So still long positions in the game. Nothing especially changed. Dollar a little bit rise. So as usually, what I mentioned is dollar is rising. That's push usually price gold to the downside. And let's also check together what is going on from our picture of CTA. So the risk trigger plus minus on the green line is near 0.05. We are not such a far from this distance, and usually where CTA position is near these tops, what we have correction mode. So please be patient, please be careful about this, and let's dive together what is going on with our gamma expire model. So of course, main strike 45.00. Right now we are a little bit above. Next target 45.55. Also we have it 46 right now and a little bit above. So from whole perspective, what we can say that we are exhausted, a little bit above, sitting also 46.50, and below what is supporting us, of course, round labor 46.00, later 45.50 and 45 the main strike right now, with the biggest gamma expire for whole GCG and chain option world. So let's dive and let's check together what is going on with the nearest gamma expiration. So for today, main strike sitting around 45.00. Right now we are such far from that, 46. Excellent, we are sitting here. So as you can see, we are sitting in positive gamma regime. There is nothing special right now from the last perspective on GCG, because this is one per day perspective, and above 46.55 next target. Another expiration Wednesday, 13th of January, expiring only 1.6%, so not such a big expiration. The main strike sitting below 45.50. Later 46, so right now we are in this zone plus minus, and above tiny profile, nothing especially. So what we can expect, that after that kind of move from the Globex Open, we are exhausted. We cross near everything above, still sitting risk trigger converted from GLD to GCG 460.77 from last day, so from Friday. 2 days ago 460.50. So for me this is the last cluster for today. Let's map this together. Right now we're crossing blind spot 10 and GEX 7. Below us, green arrow represent last all-time highs, and below we have few magnets, 1 day max, GEX 4, GEX 1 with blind spot 5 sitting around 45.60. This is this interesting zone which is supporting us after crossing 46. Later 45. Also what we was seeing on our picture, call resistance with blind spot 9 near our yellow trend line. Later call resistance gamma wall with main strike like HVL 0DT and 2 times put support, one from 0DTE, second from whole perspective, and after another window, GEX 5 1 day min. So for today, I hope it's easy and clear that we are exhausted. We haven't got not such a big expiration and option market above us. So what we can expect, maybe we will touch 46.50 and this will be our plan A. If we stay here and we haven't got the pressure, what we can expect, plan B. So when we can drop, have a little correction. First things first, 1 day max. Later, if we cross this magnet, another gap, voila, to call resistance to 45. I will expect that kind of correction. And plan C, we will stay in around this zone and especially we will do nothing. So let's check together also what is going on GVZ. Right now, gold volatility index is dropping. Expected move is crossed today because was around $70. Right now we are near $100 of the move from the Globex Open. So let's jump together to GLD. Let's check what we have here. Right now, main volume strikes are sitting 420, 425, 6. So we are plus minus on the middle range of those two peaks. From open interest, it looks similar, 420, 425. Later for 35 plus minus 440, sitting later, but far away. So it must just something especially happen to coming today to that kind of value. It will be crazy. I will not expect something like this today after that kind of move, but we should stay with all scenario in our head. And coming back to gamma exposure for our expiration for GLD 420, 425, our main strikes. Later for 35, 440, as I mentioned, and for 15 as another support 410. So each strike near 5 points. So I hope this is very clear. So let's map this together. What we have on our charts where we can expect some reaction and not only risk trigger from last day and 4 days ago, 427. Call resistance supporting blind spot 10 and risk trigger from 2 days ago. Yes, 2 days trading days, 425. In the middle range, risk trigger from 3 and 5 days ago, 423. And below, what we have from end of the day, white color represents the data. So 1 day max, call resistance 0 DTE, gamma wall with blind spot. And also from the last snapshot, the blue color represents GLD 1 day max. So this is awesome, should works. Later we have a gap. And after gap, what we have, call resistance with gamma wall and blind spot 9. And later 410 plus minus area 408. We will have a bigger magnetic point with the cluster 408, 408, 420 plus minus. Take a look. HVL put support 1 day min put support. It's amazing. This is real support from the option world. So I hope this is easy. Gamma expiring for today near 4%. Main strike 420, 421. Right now we are sitting in the zone. Tomorrow, as we can see, main strike sitting a little bit above 425, 427, and later also we have 430, 435. After crossing 410, we will be jumping to the negative gamma regime. Right now, I'm not expecting this. Looking at our matrix, what is going on with this. Do we have some question? Fabio, could you tell me?
I think we have, let's see. Not on gold directly, but let's continue and I'll keep you posted.
Okay, so what we have also from the bigger picture, dollar index with yen, we are touching new highs. Perhaps we will get some reaction from Bank of Japan. So this is looking interesting what they do with this price and what we can also expect. Of course, our dollar index. Right now we are sitting from the Globex open between one-day mean and put support. Main strikes are above, so from my perspective this is interesting. And what is also cool, take a look, one-day mean is supporting X times from blind spot area, so this is mega interesting. Later we have a gap, and on HVL to put support, another labels of blind spot in the middle supporting this zone. So what we can also match together, clear zones, voila, first one around 98.7, second one after the window, and in the middle put support. I hope this is very easy to understand. After crossing put support, I will be trying to coming back to HVL 0 DTE, but if we stay in the box, I will not trade it. And especially looking what they do with gold prices, because as I'm usually repeating, is dollar index rising, gold usually dropping. So from my perspective about gold and what is going on right now, that's all what I can say. So if you haven't any questions, ladies and gents, take a look also and prepare yourself to this week. What I mean by that, check what is in economic calendar, what kind of earnings we have before or after the session, what kind of inflation data is coming to the market and when exactly, on which hour.
Thank you, Maciej.
Exactly.
And I
All
think,
right.
Patrick, before we go into Q&A, I just want to share also some of the things that you can do with the data, looking back at historically. So there was some comments about the one day max, one day minimum. So here, for example, what we see here on ES is from Friday, we hit the one day max, we came all the way down. Today, we're hitting the one day min, and then we are now pushing back all the way to the next JAX level. And then if we go back to also some other time last week, we had our core resistance at play. I think we were live there. So here you can kind of see how the levels have played out. And you can also do the same thing on any stocks, ETFs, indices. So if we go back on our NQ, we can look at the same there. And as you can see, there was some, we sent it in the newsletter this week, but there was some really interesting setups for the week. And of course, we can look at basically the data from today as well.
Yeah, exactly. All right. I think it was a good recap. Good morning prep. So let's take a look into the questions. How do you get the pop-up from the dashboard to appear over your trading view chart? Oh, this is basically we screenshot this and then we add this to our chart so that we have this also as note as graphic on your chart. So insert some graphics on your trading view, and that's it.
I can show how to do that, no worries. Fabio, could you pass? So, for example, we can dive together to GLD, NetJack 0 DTE, taking a look what is going on, where they adding calls, where they adding puts, how it changed, and later you can use copy, then jumping to your chart, use paste or Control V, and voila, you will have it on your chart. I hope that was helpful. This is such a easy, no worries. Then you can minimize it, delete it, and other stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. I think it was a good one. Any other questions, team? We are here to help you. I can only just as a reminder, take a closer look into...
Patrick.
Yeah, let's go.
I have a question to you, because very often we have also one question which is repeated and repeated. So maybe we also answer about that. It will be helpful to our friends.
Let's go.
So tell me, what are you doing if end of the day levels not working? So something was happened on the market, on the Globex session, before we open the standard one. So what you do, if you could tell me in this time? So right now, for example, on ES, what we have on your chart, we are dropping below 1 day mean.
That's a good question. So number one is, of course, I would be notify Fabio, because we have a really great...
I love it.
We have a really great support, by the way. I don't know, guys. I think we can make here a big shout out to Fabio and also to the support team, how fast you get an answer. If something is maybe on your side you think not working, they figure this out, if this is on MenthorQ or is this maybe some technical stuff on your side. They are always there. They help you. Fabio, I think it's 60 minutes maximum, and then you get an answer. It's really crazy.
Probably less.
Yeah, probably less. And also, you have also the opportunity to book a call with Fabio and with the support team. If there's something really something where you struggle with, you can book a call. So that's number one. We are always here to help you. Make sure that you contact the support. If anything has happened, we are always here to help you. Also, you can book a call with Fabio if you want be more insights about MenthorQ, you want to go a deep dive in something else. But if the levels are out of order or something like this, you have always the opportunity to have intraday levels, for example. So there was some days, and I'm 100% sure it will be showing up also 2026, where possible all end of the day levels are out of order because the market is dropping like crazy or the market is going to the north like crazy. So then wait for the first intraday snapshot, what we have for you, and start to converting SPX to ES, QQQ to NQ, IWM to Russell, DR to JM, GLD to gold, and so on and so on. Number one. And then also, I not believe in this, that we are on some point out of order with levels where we can help and support you guys for better trading decisions, because it's not about gamma levels, MenthorQ, correct? So you have also in the dashboard all the data. So you have also the net checks there. You can find out the big magnet points, what Fabio was showing you. And then remember, you have also swing trading levels. Swing trading levels working also very nice. And if we having a really wide stretch move in the market, swing trading levels be possible in the place. And last but not least, we have also swing trades. And if everything is not working, maybe it's on your side and not
So
on
this is end of the world. No way.
and maybe it's not on your side. But again, then coming back to rule number one, first ask the support if something's happened or if you need some help. But we have everything for you in the place. So you have the dashboard. There's everything. And also, I forgot. We have also our number one employee, Fabio. Yeah, ask Quinn. Maybe Quinn can help you to figure something out. Fabio, you would add something to the questions. What should they do?
Yeah, and I think it's always like you always need to also understand what's happening in the market, right? So it's also important to, a news breakout and suddenly the market moves 2%, the option market will take some time to adjust. So it's important that you consider that as well. So always look at the narrative, and basically also understand how the data can play out. So something comes out, the market's gonna assess what's going on and then reposition based on the new data that has emerged.
And Patrick, I'm doing exactly the same. I will be patient. I will be waiting for a new snapshot. And then
I was thinking you're doing the same, asking first Fabio.
Of course. He's the most important.
Yeah, so guys, at the end, we have everything here on MenthorQ, what could be options relating. We will adding, I think, really cool futures, what we release very soon. What would be also a big game changer for you, for your entries, for your exits. And I don't know, Fabio, did I miss something? What we can give the people today on the hand?
No, and I think one thing is please follow us on YouTube and X. We're going to be live the whole week, but I think very, very important is our live trading sessions on Friday. So together with Patrick and Maciej, we're going to go over what we do in our pro room. So that's going to be very, very good one. So yeah, please guys, set a reminder, notify you for the event, and then join us on Friday.
Yep. All right, cool. On my end, I'll be good.
Thank you, guys.
If you have one last question, let me know. I often wait for price to reach the level plus minus 20 ticks, but many times price reacts already, for example, 30 ticks away from the level, and I miss to plant entry. How can this be timed better? All right, this is a really cool question. I love this question. First question is what assess do you mean? What ticker do you mean? Did we talking about ES? Did we talking about gold? Did we talking about NQ? What we talking about? Because Fabio, I think we have 7 minutes left for the normal time schedule. This question is more like having about the pin risk effect. What should be people thinking about when we came to a major level? What could be possible a pin risk, so that they can think about this for the timing, for the entry, so that we have also pin risk effect.
I mean, I think it's important to understand that when you look at execution, it's done through algorithms, but you also have to account that when orders are sent, not necessarily they will be executed at the exact price or the exact level. So you have to account for slippage, delay in execution. So it can be that the pin risk means the price reacts around the level, but not exactly at that level because of the way the trading world works. So if there's so many orders coming in, not necessarily they will be executed at the exact price, so they could go below or above. But the pin risk means all the rejection of all these orders get pinned around that area. So you see candles that are moving around certain levels for many, many minutes, sometimes even hours. That means that there is a constant battle between orders on that area.
And 20 ticks on NQ, that's only 5 points. This is like if the NQ would be breathing, and 5 points, we are moving already 5 points. I have no idea what you're trading, but if I'm seeing you're talking about 20 ticks, that's only 5 points. Remember, if you're trading NQ, how much points the NQ have? And if you say to yourself, you give them only 5 points, 20 ticks, break this down in percentage from the NQ. How much is this? Only just as reminder, it's yeah. All right, but cool question. I like it. Do you use the VIX for real-time entry confirmation on NQ? Yes, 100%. And I think everyone can confirm this who are with us in the pro room, how important the VIX is for me. I'm talking every single day about this. And the VIX is one of my most important things. I'm not trading without VIX. Debating how to incorporate swing levels, not use them yet. This is cool. Pavi, that I'm sharing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Perfect. So I'm thinking more about the swing trading levels at the moment. If we here on the 30-minute time frame, I'm getting directly the idea that we're staying in the range. Take a closer look here. We have the top and we have the bottom. And we are at the moment between everything. So this is my number first information. What I'm getting from the swing trading model. If I'm converting NDX to NQ. I'm liking personally more the NDX, not the QQQ, but this is more personal reason. And think about this. We have here a clear top on our swing trading levels, and we have a clear bottom on our swing trading levels. So this is more about, for me as a day trader, knowing where we have the range based on our swing trading levels. And secondly, it is more about timing, setup, and location. So if we come to some lower band or risk trigger, everything is there. And also, Fabio, you was talking about this, about the option strategy. Yeah, if we see now the range on the NQ, and we have here our risk triggers, and we have here our lower bands. Can you explain maybe in 1 minute what could be now the option strategy, and why is this important for us as futures trader to understand what's going on here in the range?
Benefit him not only if the price goes up or down, but also if the price stays in the range. So you could use those levels for spread selling. So if you believe benefit from theta decay, so if the price stays there and the time passes, then the option premium will decay and you will pocket kind of like the premium that you sold, but of course there is risk involved in case the market moves in the opposite direction.
Exactly. So, and for me, the swing trading levels, it's not my number one strategy. It's only to having this on my charts, because it's really simple. You can take it out and then you don't see it anymore. But looking 1 day before you're starting, hey, where are the swing trading levels? How it's looking like, and that's it. This is really about this. Having this to get a feeling about what's going on, then take it out as long as it's not in the play, and plotting your gamma levels and blind spots, and that's it. All right, cool. Perfect. Fabio, I would say see you tomorrow. Have a good one, pro traders. We see us in 15 minutes for our live trading session. Would be a good day. I think we should practicing patience today again. All right, have a good one. See you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.